So who's closest? Well, that's debatable. I'm gonna go see Chaska. Chaska, you're standing in the water, dear. You're wearing shoes. I do not recommend this course of action. You're fishing here. Isn't this a hot spring? Ah, no, this is the ocean.
Chaska?
It's very peaceful here. Now, I still think that Chaska should be holding a grudge against Mavwika for her plan requiring Koichi's death, but the game doesn't lead that way.
Hello, Archon. I'm, fishing.
I see that.
Oh, doesn't look like the fish are biting today.
I mean, I don't really think that they'd be coming into this little inlet. It's a little active for their tastes. Is that guy literally floating? Nice squats, bro.
Yeah. It's okay. You don't have to walk on eggshells around me. I know you can tell I'm not really trying to fish, but gazing at the water puts me at ease.
Good for you. You need something to take your mind off it, or at least get you through it.
I went to visit your parents, Chaska. Of course, I could only offer a few simple condolences.
You helped a lot, actually. My mom has been doing better since your visit. I've always been grateful to my parents for taking me in, but now I have an even deeper sense of responsibility.
Oh, that's horrible. Now the burden of being the best child for your parents falls on your shoulder because they don't actually have a biological child anymore. Oh, that sucks. But I still blame Mavwika. I really do. And I wish other people, not you guys, I mean in the game, would blame her. Her plan, I've already said this, but I'm going to reiterate. Mavwika's grand plan was to have these 6 warriors awaken and embody their ancient name, blah, blah, blah. But the only way Chaska was ever going to awaken was to have someone she loves die. Like, that's literally the only thing that was going to progress her and awaken her. So Mavwika's plan hinged on Koichi dying. Why is nobody holding that against Mavwika? I know it's for the greater good and all of that bullshit, but I really would be holding a grudge against Mavwika and her plans.
I'll never be able to replace Koichi, but I will do everything in my power to pull them out of their loneliness and despair.
That's exactly what your mother is worried about. She doesn't want you to push yourself to make up for their loss. After all, it's your loss too.
I wish you would mourn.
Grief is not something that can be measured against others. You don't need to make amends, Chaska. Your loss is a tragedy, not a debt.
You should be making amends.
In any case, they've always loved both of you. There's no need for you to become Koichi when they love you just for yourself.
Yeah, don't put too much pressure on yourself.
It's easy to say, but it's a lot more complicated in practice. Feelings are not that simple, Paimon.
Thank you, everyone. Sounds like I owe my parents a conversation.
I don't think you owe them a conversation. You're welcome to have one with them if you wish, but I don't think you owe them one. Oh well, best of luck with your fishing. Quotation marks. How did I get down here? It was this slope, wasn't it? Oh, we can just take a staircase. This is a staircase, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who are we looking for? Whose symbol? Is that Eonsun's symbol? Oh, there she is. Huakwe. Hello, you guys. Sorry for the wait. We're still setting up the venue. Hey, did I say you could take a break? Keep pushing. This is the home stretch, and then we get to feast.
Yes, Coach.
Are you still helping rebuild the
Sorry. My work is pretty much done, but I've discovered a lot more people with abyssal corrosion syndrome in the process. So I've been compiling patient records while helping them overcome the hallucinations. Thanks to the captain, we have the draft of lucidity for the worst cases.
I heard about your efforts. The speaker's chamber can take it from here. It's more effective to have a focused task force, and the speaker's chamber can contact the Fatui directly for more doses.
Yes, but why has it taken this long to enact this task force, so to speak? What were you doing in the time it took us to finish that quest and then come to you? Because you could recall, We waited 2 days and then we slept another day. So technically 3 days passed since the interlude. Mwavika's like, oh, yeah, you know what? Don't worry about that. We'll sort it out. Well, you could have sorted it out in the last 3 days and you didn't. The doctors at the stadium aren't too busy.
The worst is over, so it should be fine. I'll confirm it myself later. I'll be in touch with next steps. I just need you to compile all existing patient records to ease the transition.
Understood, Archon. Although I'd like to continue helping out with the treatment. I can't let everything I've learned go to waste, but you also shouldn't, burn yourself out just trying to help others. Keep that in mind, Dion-san.
Wow, that's so responsible of you.
You make it sound like she's not a responsible person. Well, knowledge is power after all. Sure. I mean, I don't disagree, but I don't think I would have said it quite like that. Okay, so we have Kinich, and then Auroran and Kachina, but no more Lani, which I'm not complaining about even remotely, but I just am surprised. Hi, Kinich. I wish you were voiced. Rip. This box is missing a label. Oh, it's you. What's up?
Nothing. We're just taking a look around.
What have you been up to? Well, everyone's busy rebuilding the tribes, so there's not a lot of Saurian hunting work out there. But the Pyro Archon assigned me a special mission.
Oh, really?
That's a bit of an exaggeration. I just asked Kinich to help identify some of the unknown casualties from the battle.
I'm sorry, what?
The fighting consumed all of Natlan. Countless humans and Saurians were dragged into the conflict. So a lot of investigative work is required to confirm their identities.
Did you take pictures of their bodies? I mean, how else are you supposed to ask people about the bodies? Because they'd be decomposing by now. Right? Just like a detective, I only have tiny details to work with. The goal is to deduce their habits and find evidence to corroborate their identity. It's tricky work, but we have every reason to keep going.
Because Natlan's heroes deserve to be remembered, right?
I would sort of think at this point in time, if someone hasn't come forward about a missing person, then you're probably not going to find out who these people belong to. Because quite a bit of time has passed, so you'd think that your loved ones would already report you as missing.
Exactly. That is how we, as the living, respect our heroes and the values of their lives. So let me know if you need extra help, Kinich.
I'm doing fine for now. The team searching for the fallen needs the help more than me. The longer we take to find the dead, the harder it'll be to piece things together. Dude, that is... I feel like you're skimming the actual surface of the topic. The longer it takes for you to find the dead bodies, the longer it's going to take you to be able to identify them, because they're going to be rotten and decomposing, and they've been eaten by wild animals. They'll be bloated by water if they're near a body of water, or that it's been raining. The bodies are going to be in pretty terrible shape at this point in time because quite a lot of time has passed. So I think there's a bigger issue than just it's going to be harder to piece things together because time has passed.
Understood. Thank you for your hard work.
I really wish you would have been more specific about that and gone into further detail. You make it seem so airy-fairy, and we're not really delving into the actual tragedy and the reality of a situation. Just doing my part. Nothing ever...
Hey, looks like the food is almost ready. Let's head over. Paimon can't wait to feast.
We never really get into the nitty-gritty
But
of
if
things.
there are still people you want to see, that's okay. We can head over later, too.
You just want food, you fatty.
Oh, Mother Granny.
You glutton.
Archon.
Whatever you want to call it.
I swear, I've been on my best behavior recently.
I didn't say you hadn't been.
Paimon knows it's just how you talk, but you've got to realize how suspicious that sounds,
It's
right?
very provocative, Auroran.
I am curious, though. Are you still working with the captain?
No, I don't have a reason to follow him anymore. So my life is back to normal. Growing vegetables, raising aphids.
Kind of sad. The captain lost a friend.
Well, maybe not completely normal. I'm still keeping tabs on the situation in the Night Kingdom. The ley lines are in a bad state.
I noticed.
We plan on bringing that to an end.
I know. You and other Granny, right?
Please don't call me that.
You're going to become great heroes. And the most I can do is weave a scroll of your deeds.
Oh, you know how to do that?
Most people from my tribe know the art, but I'm not very good. I can never seem to empty my mind.
You don't need to empty your mind to weave. You just have to have deft fingers.
We commemorate the deeds of others as a form of inspiration. But rather than waiting for someone else to be inspired, isn't it faster to just take things into your own hands?
Assuming you are inspired at the time, sure.
Well, there are always things we can't do on our own.
I wouldn't phrase it quite like that, but Paimon's not wrong. Time will give you an answer. I know how you feel, Auroron. It took me a long time to find my place in the world. I'm more mature now, but that passion, that drive to prove myself, I miss it sometimes. Maybe you'll change in the future, but you can still be proud of who you are now.
You're saying I need to live in the present?
Yes, you always should live in the present with the consideration for the future, but just do what you think is right.
Thank you, Archon. That's what I've always tried to do.
Good for you, Auroran. Who was the last person we had? Kachina. Where is she? What the fuck was that? I think it was a babied Petlosaur, but I can't be too sure. I mean, I'm assuming she's up there. But it's probably a bad assumption to make. She could totally just be down the bottom somewhere. I don't see her. Oh, there she is.
Milani, it's almost time for the feast.
Ah. She's with Milani.
Maybe we should send the drinks out first. There's a bunch of guests here already.
Yep. I'm making the juice as we speak. Oh, right, the ice.
Huh? Oh, you scared me. Sorry, we're a little busy in the kitchen right now. But the food is almost ready.
You promised me that the food would be ready when I got here. You lied to me.
Ahow! Get out of the ice bucket!
The almighty Dragon Lord, Kahulahau, will not tolerate this stifling hut. We seek a cool place to repose. This bucket suits our taste.
Oh, great, now we can't use any of this ice. Hey! This is your mess! Get back here! Kachina, Ahow is on the run. Help me catch him.
I think you have bigger priorities right now.
Okay. Sorry, I gotta help with the how.
Could you just focus on making the food and the drinks? # priorities.
As usual, Ahau brings chaos wherever he goes.
I just feel like we haven't been grounded in how either. And I don't think it should need a side quest or a story quest or a tribal chronicle or whatever to really explain him. I feel like there needs to be more grounding in the base game.
Lively, isn't it? Leave this to me, Kachina.
Oh, please. What are you gonna do?
What is this? Who dares lay a hand on the almighty... Mawika?
I got him, Mualani.
Oh, I love this.
Expert Ahow wrangling, Archon. Thank you.
Show him who's boss.
You shall utter our name with more reverence, or we shall... or I'll get Kanich to ask you to apologize. Some Dragon Lord you are if you need your servant to protect you.
Ahow ruined an entire bucket of ice. We have others, but still, that was not cool. How should he be punished, Archon?
Let me think. Seems like you could use some extra hands around here. Ahow, help out in the kitchen.
He's got little T-Rex hands. I don't think he can help.
What? The almighty Dragon Lord, Kahulahau, shall not be reduced to a menial kitchen laborer!
I wasn't asking.
Understood.
How? You have to learn to be good at some point.
He doesn't really.
Well, hop to it. There's a pile of vegetables with your name on it. You need to wash every leaf.
Help! Someone save me!
You make yourself quite unlikable. Nobody will be saving you. Okay, we're done. Let's go. What do you mean optional objectives? We're done with the optional objectives. Yeah, I know they've been met. So why do you keep hounding me about them? Get rid of it. Your dragon sucks. You couldn't have made the food closer to the destination. But that's okay. If you want to drag it all the way out, be my guest. For now, you set aside your troubles to savor the delicious food and this, I don't know, festive occasion. I don't know what it said.
So full. I'm practically a blubber beast.
Well, you don't need to fight on the morrow.
What's that?
You don't know what a blubber beast is? Oh, Kachina, let me inform you. Educate
A creature
you.
from Fontaine with a super round belly. You've never seen a picture of one?
Ah, yes. I forgot how educated you by hearing Outland about outside lands.
Oh, it sounds so cute.
They can be?
Paimon can vouch for their cuteness. You can pat their belly and they'll even join in.
That reminds me of my saurian companion. Her name was Amela? She wasn't the sharpest to Tankasaur, so that's the final saurian we need to learn about, Tankasaur. But she was incredibly brave. When there was nothing to do, she would lounge around the tribe without making a sound, even if you bumped into her. Sometimes visitors would think she was all passed out. But she was completely different once we were on the move. When she was little, I took her on all sorts of adventures. But saurians grow a lot faster than humans. Before long, she was the one dragging me all over the place.
Wow, she must have been a great fighter to keep up with you.
Yeah, she was tough. Veresa told me she was amazing in the final battle. I had to defend the stadium, so I never got the chance to see her one last time. It was a choice I had to make, but it was hard to accept. Wait, hold on. Your saurian companion literally just died? When have you been given the chance to grieve? Hell, you've been helping with the rebuilding and the people with the hallucinations and shit. And meanwhile, your like close friend / pet's dead? Jesus, I can't believe this is the first time you're mentioning it. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring down the mood. I'll get to the important part. I actually saw her in my dreams the past few nights. It felt so real, like it was really her. She gave me a ride, and we travelled all around Natland together. We were both so happy.
Wait, now that you mention it,
Everyone's had dreams.
I've had dreams of Auntie Atea. She was her typical self. Brave and stern, always with that indescribable warmth.
What does that say about the dream we had? We had more of a nightmare.
I've never had a dream that felt so real. Just like you said, it felt like I actually got to see her again.
So it wasn't just me.
Wait, you've had dreams too? Oh, don't tell Paimon you dreamt of your aphids or something.
It wasn't just them. Some of the gramps and grannies who looked after me were there too. Growing up, I could always hear a degree of guilt in the way they spoke to me. It's why they never asked anything of me. Why they gave me so much freedom. I never wanted things to be that way. But even in my own dreams, nothing changed. They sounded exactly the same, just like real life.
The same thing happened to me. I dreamt of Ayo's grandparents.
No, I don't have a chance in hell of remembering who the hell Ayo is.
Io. Oh, right, your saurian companion.
Oh.
Ayo's grandparents fell to the abyss during the battle, so it's been really hard for him. He's barely been eating. I set up a tent near his home so I could be there for him. And I had a dream that his grandparents came back. I was so happy. In the dream, Ayo seemed like his normal self again. But it was only for a moment. And then I woke up. In real life, Ayo is still struggling. He barely sleeps or eats. But it's all right. I'll be there for him.
Koichi? No? I was wondering if she dreamt of Koichi, but she didn't mention it. Everyone's had dreams, including me. Could they be related somehow?
Traveler? Chaska? Did you two... Oh, sorry, never mind.
I wonder if it's a sign that the ley line is pretty much on the out. That it gave one final beautiful memory to these people before it pretty much just unravels and dies.
When did this become story hour?
She doesn't want to speak of it.
Still, I have nothing to hide. I dreamt about Koichi. She told me I felt like a completely different person. She said I'm going down the right path, so she doesn't need to pick fights with me anymore. Maybe your dreams felt real, but the Koichi I saw was nothing like her real self. She would never say anything like that to me. It was a dream. Nothing more.
Sorry, I shouldn't have brought this up in the first place.
It's fine. I'm the one being a buzzkill.
But what about my dream?
Well, what about you, Traveler? Did you have a special dream?
I sure did, and I wish the captain was here for me to unveil it. You tell everyone about your dream, including the captain and the souls.
You're kidding. The captain?
Does that mean you have some kind of secret connection to him?
No, of course not.
Maybe the traveler's dream is a different kind of phenomenon.
I do think it is.
I may know the cause of the dreams. At the end of the battle, I launched a special kind of night war by using the power of the Divine Throne. Its great power allowed the Ode of Resurrection to bring back all casualties, independent of the time of victory or the possession of an ancient name. In addition, the power of the Divine Throne revitalized the souls and memories within the Night Kingdom, allowing them to take the form of their past selves. Even after the battle, that effect still lingers. That's why those you lost were able to reappear in your dreams. But I agree with Auroron. The Traveler's dream is likely a different matter.
Especially considering I'm not Natlanese.
The shamans of my tribe often receive visions of the future through dreams. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, exactly.
Why is Lali not here, actually? Oh, her and Shalona are not doing the ancient name. Sorry, forget I said anything.
So, the Traveler saw the captain's future?
It's still unclear, but Granny taught me how to interpret dreams. Would it be okay if I tried to take a look?
Take a look at what, bro? You can't go feeling around my brain.
If I can observe your soul, I can find out the key elements of the dream.
That's incredible. More like that's fucking creepy. That power reminds me of someone.
You're thinking of the Dendro Archon, right? My tribe's power over dreams is nothing compared to that of an Archon.
Yours is very different to hers.
Observing the dreamscape requires a ritual and can only reveal static images. We also need the full cooperation of the dreamer. Otherwise, the process could be used to violate the privacy of others.
I mean, that's where I was going with it, but I'm glad you realize the ramifications.
I also have a fairly good understanding of the ritual. What do you say, Traveler? Should we start the preparations?
Here, during the feast? I mean, if you want. I'm curious about the captain.
Then I'll start getting ready. We'll carry out the ceremony somewhere else.
Okay. Follow Auroron and take part in the ceremony. Oh, I thought you meant like away. You know, you just been around the corner. Pardon me, sir. Meow. Hi.
I never knew you could make it this way. This formula is new to me.
Is it simpler and more straightforward?
Your granny never taught you about incense making?
No. She usually just lists off the ingredients and tells me to follow the formula.
Then you still have a lot to learn from her. All right, we're ready, Traveler. Once you head inside, you'll fall into a brief sleep.
Wait, am I going to actually live through the dream again? Or are you just going to see the dream?
Auroron will interpret the dreamscape, but you won't feel a thing.
That's right. Everything's all set.
So, you just need to take a nap? Sounds easy enough.
Do you have sedatives? Something to actually knock me out? Because how is somebody just supposed to fall asleep at the, click of fingers in broad bloody daylight? Stay out of it, Paimon. You sleep for a brief period. When you open your eyes again, the ceremony appears to be over. How'd it go, Auroran?
Here, have some water. It'll help to clear your head.
I don't think my head's the issue. I think Auroran had more of a complex time than I did.
You're awake already, Traveler? That was fast.
Right? It felt like only a few minutes. It was only a few minutes.
It was enough. What did you learn, Auroran?
The person next to the captain. I've seen him before. He was the one who tried to possess me back at the ruin.
That much was obvious. His name was Guthred, I believe.
Huh? It was him? Guthred, right? The military doctor?
So you know that name too?
Yeah.
Yeah, the captain told us about him when we were helping Ian-san. He was the one who developed the draft of lucidity, a drug that could help people with hallucinations.
I see. After the battle, I returned to my tribe and began searching through our records of the catastrophe 500 years ago. Even though my encounter with him was brief, I managed to track down some information.
Did you now?
The record said he was cold and decisive.
Yeah, we knew
Like
that.
the captain, he was formidable in battle, but the two upheld very different ideas of justice.
That much we could guess, yes.
So, he didn't have the captain's sense of honor?
Again, these are all things we can guess about his personality from the brief time we were exposed to him.
That makes sense. The best partners are those who complement each other.
True.
Wait, if there are records of all this, that must mean the captain was famous in that land.
Yes, but unless he brings up his past, few are likely to make the connection between a Fatui harbinger and Thrain, one of
Thrain!
Natlan's legendary heroes.
Thank you, Mavwika, for answering one of the 14 questions I had from my last play session. Thrain. Thank you. Okay, Thrain. He looks like a Thrain too.
Guthred is also a respected figure in our nation. The story of how he sacrificed himself for Natlan is a pretty famous tribal legend.
Really?
But there's still something I don't understand. I'm the only one who saw him. You shouldn't be able to dream of someone you've never met.
But it's prophetic. So, if you're having dreams that are showing the future, as he seems to intimate we did just here, why would I not be able to dream of someone I've never met? I've already met and encountered? That doesn't seem right.
And yet, the figure in your dream looked exactly like him.
I don't think that's a coincidence. I believe what the traveler saw was Guthred's soul.
Well, yes. Obviously? I'm so confused. All you guys have done is point out the obvious in this entire conversation. Other than Thrain's real name, can you give me something actually constructive that I didn't already know?
But didn't he die hundreds of years ago? There's no way his soul could have survived that long.
And yet he possessed you only recently? Where is your logic coming from, Auroran?
Maybe he found his way to the Night Kingdom for a little bit.
He can't go to the Night Kingdom. Wait, hold on. Was Guthred Natlanese or was he Khanrian? I assume he was Natlanese.
No.
No,
The Night Kingdom only accepts the souls
That's
of
where I was going with
Natlan.
my thought
It's always
process.
been that way. The ruler of death likely wanted to prevent the Ode of Resurrection from being abused.
That's exactly what I was trying to get at. I was like, how could he briefly visited the Night Kingdom if his soul shouldn't even be in the Night Kingdom?
When I was with the captain, I could hear something coming from him. Souls that were not his own. I heard voices of sorrow and pain, sometimes faint, sometimes strong.
Are you saying he carries the burden of the souls of those he has killed or feels guilty towards within that big cavity in his chest? Ugh.
Wait, are you saying the captain has had Guthred's soul inside of him all along?
That's truly tragic if he does.
That's the part I don't understand. Ordinary people shouldn't be able to carry the souls of others.
His Khanrian, bro. Assume the Khanrians aren't normal folk.
It's only possible for me because my situation is unique. And even then, you saw what happened. The Lord of the Night's voice triggers a violent reaction in those with fragmented souls.
But the captain didn't react at all. Well, his soul isn't fragmented. He's just got extra souls with him, I would say.
I even checked his soul myself. It's resilient, radiant, and entirely in one piece.
Maybe it has something to do with Guthred then.
It's very possible. It's still too early to tell. but the continued existence of Guthrud's soul is likely the key to figuring out the captain's true intentions.
Is there any way that he could put souls to rest in the Night Kingdom that aren't from Natlan? I can't think of any way that he could actually accomplish that feat, but that would be a motivation. Although I have no idea how he would do it.
I agree.
The captain never revealed anything to you? The two of you worked together for quite some time.
No, he rarely talked about himself. We were united in our efforts to save Natlan, but it never went beyond that.
He's a very closed-off man, and for good reason. He's suffered for 500 years. He's a lot
Let's
of
come
trauma.
back to this later. One final step, and we save Natlan for good. That must be our focus.
There must be another chapter of a story that involves the captain, because I don't see that happening in this particular chapter.
I'll tell the officials at the speaker's chamber to monitor the captain. Nevertheless, I doubt his goal will interfere with our plan.
Yeah, he's definitely up to something. But there are far more important things for Paimon to worry about. Like if Paimon had to rate her level of worry, the captain gets maybe 50 points. But considering the final battle, you two get at least 2,000!
Why are you so dramatic?
In any case, conjecture will only get us so far. It might be more useful for you to ask the captain directly, Auroron. With any luck, he might just tell you the truth.
I don't see why he would. There's no motivation or benefit to him doing so, especially when he told me explicitly that now was not the time to divulge secrets.
Me?
Don't tell me you haven't noticed his respect for you. The first of the Fatui Harbingers doesn't work with just anyone. Fortune favors the bold. So if you ask me, posing the question directly is the wiser choice.
I'm not so sure, but I'll give it a try.
I mean, I do agree, directness with him is definitely the better approach, but he still didn't seem eager to spill his secrets just yet.
All right, let's head back and enjoy the party.
Okay. Do I have to go back up? I think I have to go back up. Yes, indeed I do.